Greetings, upstanders. Dr. O here, and in the latest Call a Thing submission here or edition, we gotta just call what's happening with the people that Trump brought over from South Africa, who he's calling refugees from a genocide. We gotta call it what it is. This is about great replacement theory. This is about white replacement theory. This is about the idea of the white population in the United States is dwindling, and the country has to do anything to make sure that the numbers of white people in this country that number is being increased. This is a man who is expelling black and brown groups, whether they be people from Afghanistan, whether they be people from Haiti, of course, what he's doing with Venezuelans and alike, getting actually rid of the temporary protective status of so many of these groups, getting rid of programs to help refugees in general, while at the same time welcoming these individuals from South Africa. In the prior video that I just did yesterday, which you can watch, about the definition of genocide. Genocide is a legal term. It's a loaded word. There are at least 5 categories of what makes up a genocide, including things like limiting people's birth. There's just so much that goes into it. But Trump throws this term around just like he's always throwing around the most violent terms when he's talking about things. Our country is being raped by the rest of the world. He runs down the list because he is a violent individual to his core. And he uses the language of violence because he knows that it resonates with people. The fact of the matter is, there is no genocide in South Africa. White people from South Africa are like 7% of the population and make up over 70% of the people who own farmland there. The fact of the matter is, unemployment is like less than 1% for white people, or close to 1%. And these numbers are astronomical, like 30, 40 something percent as relates to the black population there. You're more likely to experience violence if you are a black person in South Africa than any white group. There is no genocide. There's no mass killing of a group of people. There's no forced displacement. Even the laws that have been put in place that deal with land reappropriation and the like haven't even been implemented. And it's a goal to redistribute land that has been taken from black South Africans primarily since the apartheid regime has existed. Genocide, no. Mass discrimination, no. Even when he talks about farmers being killed, there's been like one white farmer who's probably been killed, but the black staff who are on that farm have experienced more violence than any of the white farm owners. This is part of Trump's white nationalist agenda, and it needs to be called out. No one on these television shows should be using terms like, even calling them refugees, or, saying that, Trump calls them refugees from South Africa. No, just call a thing a thing. This country is sending back people to Afghanistan who helped the United States in Afghanistan, who got status here, and now they're being sent home where they're probably going to face some type of persecution and violence. This is a man who's working to actively minimize reduce the population of black and brown people in this country while working to increase the numbers of white people here. And when you look at the people who came from South Africa, what is their status? What did they experience? Where's the violence? Where was the forced off land? None of these things happen. None of these things happen. These are white people from South Africa who could not take advantage of the system that has been set up to benefit white people in South Africa, and they fled to get opportunities here and a government that was all too willing to take them. That just is what it is. Just call a thing a thing. If we can call a thing a thing, we can be honest. But just like the outlets in the media have struggled for years to even call Donald Trump a liar, and some still struggle as it relates to that, falsehoods, mendacity, untruths, and all of this other type of stuff. And some finally are calling him a liar after 9 years. How much longer is it going to take to call this man a racist? How much time is it going to take to understand that he surrounds himself with people who are either born in South Africa or spent time in South Africa, like the Elon Musk of the world, like the Peter Thiels of the world, who also grew up during the apartheid regime? What does it say that a man like Elon Musk, who definitely puts out his own share of racist ideas and views, using his own Twitter AI Grok service to talk about this idea of a genocide happening against white people in South Africa. This man, Musk, who has no power in South Africa whatsoever, has major power to basically control the entire government in the United States, or at least had much of that power. What does that say? Because people who are pro-white unite. And that's what's happening. And that's what's happening with this administration. This is behind their plan to increase the births of mothers and the like, and give mother awards for mothers who have more than 6 children. I mean, this is what they're doing. They're trying to repopulate white America. While they're doing that, they're also building the prison systems and looking to remove documentation of black and brown people so that those communities can spend more time in prisons and the jails that groups like, Geo Group and others are building and profiting off of tremendously. That is the plan. If there's another plan that's going on, you let me know, because this is what we see. This is who Trump always is. He has an opportunity, him, Stephen Miller's and the like, they have an opportunity to implement their racist agenda, and they're going full stop. And our ability to just say that these people just cared about, people who voted for him just cared about eggs and things like that, and think that these guys don't want some of that action that Trump is involved in, some of his voters and supporters who also voted for him are not and completely down with this at all, that's also a lie. If we're going to move forward in this country, as Jay-Z said, you can't hear what you don't reveal. And we got to reveal this country for what this administration is doing, and we got to be able to call a thing a thing. And we know what your thoughts are in the comments. I would appreciate it. Take care, y'all. Peace.